Ooh, it's the spooky stream. And what could possibly be scarier than cataloging every task that remains for the game's release? Ooh.
Also, I'm not releasing the game in November.
Ooh, game cancellations. The scariest thing of all.
Yeah, but essentially, so for those who aren't in the know, I was intending to release the game 10 days from now, or 11 days from now, but I knew it was in an incomplete state. I knew it was incomplete. I wanted to sort of wrap it up as best as I could in the limited time and then just release it. And then, like, take a few months off to recuperate and do other things. But then I thought, what if I take the break but don't release the game? Because I gain literally nothing from willingly releasing it without it being complete. Because what's the feedback going to be? Like, oh, it's incomplete and there's bugs. Oh, you should add more content. Have you considered, sir? Have you considered? I think the game would benefit if you added more content. I think that would be great. I think, I don't know why you haven't. I think that would be something that might improve the game. So yeah, I know. I've spent the last, of the 140 some odd streams that I've done, 130 have just been content and bug fixes. I got the basic systems done 2 weeks in. You can actually look this up in the streams on YouTube. I'm arguing with people who I've imagined, but that's so you can imagine how I would feel when I start arguing with people who actually exist by releasing the game in an incomplete state. So instead, what I'm going to do is not release the game in an incomplete state, though I may open it up to play testing at that point. Maybe you have to join a Discord server, so that way it's in for a penny, in for a pound, essentially, where I have to make it so troublesome to get a copy of the game early that it biases people towards not being mean to me. You know what I mean? I'm rambling, but essentially what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a breather and I'm going to really catalog everything in the game. Why am I in here still? I'm tired of being in here. I'm going to get out of here. I spent 2 weeks making this place. I'm done being in here. I've played this level longer than people are going to play the entire game. Actually, I've been thinking about it. You know something that's messed up? Games have some of the highest ratio of time spent working on them versus time, no, they have one of the lowest ratios of time spent working on it versus time that players will engage with it. Because it's it is entirely theoretically possible that someone could play this game for 600 hours at this point. Now, it'd be very unlikely, and they would probably be suffering some severe mental illness because the game has 4 hours of content. But it's not impossible, and that's about as long as I've spent working on the game. Whereas with a comic or something, 600 hours would get me 20 pages. Well, no, it would get me more maybe 100 pages. If I'm going really fast, I could do 100 pages in 600 hours. But you can imagine how fast 100 pages of comic is. That's like an afternoon, maybe. No, that's an hour of reading. So, you know, that's a terrible ratio. With games, you make a little system in like half an hour, and players will play with that for like days. Anyway, that's just me sort of rambling now. What I'm actually supposed to be doing is cataloging all the things that I need to get done. So essentially charting out the next like year and a half of development, though I would like to actually wrap up the game sooner than that. But I won't. I know what the game needs, and it's hundreds more hours of labor to get it to a state where it'll feel complete given the scale. Let's see. But yeah, it was funny. Someone yesterday mentioned the game has such potential for scale, but it's like, I just made a big empty space. Like, anything can have potential for scale. You could just put, like I didn't do any, like, unique technology to make it have greater potential for space. I just made a big empty area. And then I started slowly putting things in there at, like, the rate that I could. So it's like, there's no, like, special potential for space. It just has a lot of space. Anyway, I'm still rambling. I think that's a ramble. I think today is a rambling stream. It's a holiday. Like, what are you doing here? Like, you should be trick-or-treating. Like all the other 27-year-old men. Anyway, this is how you, that's how you do this. Now I'm in a funny house. This is a haunted house. Okay, I'm being dumb. What I need to do is I'm going to go through every single thing. First, let's do content. So there's 144 chunks. I see here... Wait, what? Oh, it's at the very bottom, I forgot. Because it's not 000, it's just called chunk. So I have a lovely little race here. I want a quest related to this farm. So yeah, I wasn't kidding when I said this is going to be like a thorough enumeration of this. Like, what do I want here? I think there should be more farmland. Let's see, maybe there's a rival farmer. I'll put that. Let's see, have you ever heard of tenant farming? Or essentially like the Irish famine. A large part of what actually caused the famine wasn't because of just, like, it was well, the reason a lot of crops were failing was because they were growing a lot of potatoes, and there's, you know, the potato blight that killed a bunch of them off. But what started causing starvation was because most people didn't make money. from their crops. What they got was they would work land, and then in return they would get another plot of land that they grew their own food on, like, and they lived on and stuff. So when their crops failed, the landlords still demanded payment, and they didn't get payment, so people were evicted from their farmlands, and then they didn't have a house or food, because that was both their home and their source of food. So that's what was starting to cause most of the actual famine. And the British Empire was evil, so they just didn't care, because, well, they hate the Irish. And that's part of why even today Ireland and England have such bad blood. At least I assume so. And that's a very common story that you'll hear with most of the British Empire, where it's basically, when crops go bad, the British don't care. They want their money still. And they don't care who dies. Like, one of the only famines where they actually really stopped it, in India, I think, the guy almost lost his job because he spent too much money, like providing food to the starving masses. So the next time he was in charge of a famine, 8 million people died. Let's see, I need to do something with this terrain. Let's slightly rework this terrain. Some gentle slopes. Let's have, what should be here? This is kind of a little bit off the beaten path, but it's still pretty close to here, to the Crab Hill. So I think most of this area is going to be like, I don't know. There's not going to be very many monsters in this neighborhood. It'll be more like casual stuff. Let's see, maybe, maybe there's, like, toxic water? Oh yeah, fun fact, like 20 million Americans get water from lead pipes. Like, the water lines just are made with lead. That's not really related to this, but maybe it is. Maybe they have lead in their water. I have no idea how the player would actually deal with that. Maybe this could be like marshes. Because I'm thinking there'd be a lot of water. Well, no. There'd be mostly water runoff in here. Maybe I'll make these marshes. So this chunk 5 has this 5-kilometer staircase, and currently it goes nowhere. And I need to make the follower AI, because basically there's going to be a quest where there's a little character up here, and she's like, she wants to explore down the staircase, but she's scared, so you're like, oh, well, I'm the main character of the game, so, like, I'm not afraid of anything, so let me go down with you, so that, you know, because clearly that's what you're supposed to do as the main character in the video game. And then you guys go down, and then it's like a movie-length adventure, a feature-length adventure that where 20 minutes of it is going to be walking, because I'm not, like, you're straight up going to have to walk the whole distance. Well, actually, there's, like, you can see here, there's, like, 100-meter straight drop. That's a shortcut. This is a shortcut. Very effective shortcut, as you can see. I actually call it the tower. I'll call it the tower here as well. I got that from the book Annihilation, though actually I got it from a passing reference in a Jacob Geller video to the book Annihilation, because I haven't read it, where basically there's also a big staircase and she calls it the tower. I don't know, that just seems cool. I don't know if that'll actually be what I call it, though. That's too overt. So the follower AI will be pretty simple, because basically it'll be these little staircase things. They'll just have some points, like there'll be like a point there and a point at each little like platform, and then the character will just go from one to the other in order in a straight line. Like, because the AI doesn't need to be any more sophisticated than that, and I don't want to, like, because these things actually move, so that you don't have to have like a million staircase meshes at once, and that's why they don't extend down any further than this. So I need some way of dynamically determining like where she's gonna, like where this NPC is gonna go. But then outside the staircase, I guess just in the staircase, and then there's going to be like custom event areas. There's going to be like little rooms at various points along this staircase that she's going to go to and explore, and then that gives the player opportunity to do something. You know, maybe there's like blockades, and the player has to do a little platforming challenge, and then like I still have to figure out how this is actually going to work. Like the actual like mechanics of like how do you talk to the character while going down the staircase without it being tedious or like accidentally triggering dialogue. But okay, I think that'll be fine. And then also, I think for this I need to make a hierarchical, so I'll put this up here in technology. Because basically, I changed the light and fog settings in certain nodes, but I need the ability to change the environment again, like in like sub areas. Like, you go from here into a little room, and then you run around in the room, and then you come back into here, and it's like back to normal, without breaking things, which it currently would. It would basically be a map of like, you know, you're in this environment A, and then you can like go into a room that partly overlaps, and it'll be like environment B, and then it'll be a higher priority, so that way this environment goes away and the new environment comes in. And once you exit this, because it's not the active environment anymore, it doesn't change it again to like the base environment. So yeah, that'll be fine. That won't be too hard. It'll just be something I have to do. See, and we can block off the elevator. There's not a single puzzle in this game, so I don't know what exactly I'm thinking here. Also, this character is going to be, I think because you're going to be with this character for like a while, because it's at your base movement rate, if you're just holding forward the entire time, it's about 20 minutes to get down from the top to the bottom. And then I think I'm probably going to have an elevator, so let's just put that. Oh, what is this going to be called? I guess it'll just be... It's not really a markdown file. But that's okay. This thing could be a whole game in itself. See, well, this is the top of the hill. I know. I'll put a little veiler for it. So it'll be some like incredibly opulent little like, well, this would be more of, I think this is, yeah, this is more 007. No, it'll be like a, and 08 has some, yeah, so this already has some stuff. I don't think this stuff is actually like quite relevant, but maybe it will be. Let's put it to like, I made this because I made this like little Colosseum looking thing, and I've been throwing it around, but it's completely meaningless. Like, I've never used this thing properly, I don't think. Like, it's just kind of a bad like level prefab. Like, it's not really a fun level. Maybe I'll make it into a, and it already has the race, which I think, yeah, that's okay. Because it has the cave and the rest of it. 009. There's another one that's just kind of on the side of a hill, isn't it? See. Yeah, this is kind of in the shadows, so maybe I can like carve out a little bit of a niche and then have it surrounded by rocks, and then there's just a marshy forest. Or a marshy oasis. And then a shack with a little guy. I put like quest giver and things. I don't even know if there's not even quests in the game yet. Like that's how little content is in the game. Okay, 10. Maybe a continuation of the march. Maybe these two chunks will be like just some kind of isolated little quest area. That could be neat. Here, there's already a little thing. Basically, there's just this little pocket of nothing where it's just honestly, this kind of sucks. Like, this thing took me like an hour to make, and it's just kind of nothing because you just jump from these platforms in a very obvious way. Alright, but that's row 1. And now that I've done all this, let's see if I can do this. Alright, so that's not bad. Getting some stuff here. Okay, so now I have actual like markdown lists. So now they like fold in and out. In fact, maybe I could even do... Yeah, I'm gonna indent all of this stuff. Look at this. Look at this beautiful organization now. And yeah, this is gonna be the entire stream. In fact, I'm gonna keep going. This might be one of the longest weekday streams, because I'm just gonna keep going until I have cataloged everything. Because now we're going back to Chunk 12. Beautiful. So Chunk 12 is the city on Crab Hill. It's supposed to be like the capital of this area, so I'm gonna greatly expand it. Because now we have this walled, like, main area. So I'm going to make a larger, like, lower walled area. And I do really like this area just because there's like these walls that you can run along, and like they're sort of like throughways for the area. So I want to emphasize that by making it much more maze-like in here, like with lots and lots of overlapping things and bridges and stuff, and actually like, and also of course actually design buildings. Maybe just a simple like texture. Let's do like it'll probably just be like simple, like this one has windows, and this one has slightly different windows, and this one's made of different bricks. And I'll just wrap each, just unwrap each of the buildings with a different texture. And also enterable buildings. And there'll be no enterable doors, like separate load zones. So it'll just be like an open door here, and then you can go inside. Let's see, and I think the church should definitely be expanded. And then there'll be Valic missionaries in there that you can like do quests with. I guess that's okay. Let's add let's just order 3 races for this town. 3 some side quest about city improvement. I talked at some point of having a big side quest where the character just wants, like the main character wants to just put a statue on top of this fountain and goes to extraordinary lengths to do it. I might do that, but honestly, I was trying to write it. It came across really boring, so I'd have to do like a few drafts before I get it right. Also, a gameplay thing. I've been meaning to implement sleeping, where basically just, basically, there's a lot of things that only happen upon the scene reloading, so that's contextualized in-game as time passing and things occurring when you've done stuff and you don't notice it. So I want to make that like a mechanic where the player can like do a bunch of stuff and then they sleep, and then it's like a new day and things have happened while they weren't looking. and it'll reload chunks. Dreams? Maybe? That could be fun. Also, I'm just gonna have shallow water. Because it is kind of weird how there's, like, the game has sort of an important theme of water because that's where you save. So I need to have the ability to walk. So it'd just be... slower movement. So like if you were like waist high in water, I don't think you'd be able to kick super well. So I'm going to try to make maybe this. So it'll be like water is like a major handicap for the player. And that'd be good for the marshes. Or it depends on... Oop. My stomach is growling. I also need... There's tons and tons of stuff that could be in chunk 12. I need also city officials. So like the church. Capitol building. So this thing needs an interior. It's also not that big. Maybe these Valor houses? I don't know, just some other buildings. Whoever gives the speeches here, I need to build a new house, I think. This is kind of... These are going to be like little huts. Like, they're so tiny. Like, how big is this thing? Ah, I can't tell. Let's say 5 flowers. So these are supposed to be gardens. Naturally, as you can see, there's no plants in the gardens. And I'm thinking with hedges, I could like draw a line, and then there'd be like just a line of ledge model, or hedge model. Let's see. So we need to have Balter's dialogue. He's just the dude who's like standing right here right now. So like, you know, there should be anything here at all. What? I think Siraj is weird because he's the only guy who actually has a name that's like a normal name instead of a fake made up one. Well, I guess Armstrong, but his real name is Outerstone or something like that. But yeah, there's Balter, and then there's Siraj, who's the head gardener. Who I only created because I needed some guy for the, to be in charge of the adding a statue here, which I'm still not sure I want to do. Actually finish the models for here, so. Let's do like 2 unique meshes. I still need to implement bounce pads for these. You know, I have the ambient light that perfectly matches the color of the actual procedurally generated texture for the top of it, but I didn't actually implement the mechanics for it, so you know where my priorities are. And let's say simple building textures. Let's also put like let's put all of this under something like this. So it'll be like let's do like 6 exterior, 4 interior textures. I don't remember what the word is for like if this is a wall. Hang on. You can often have like a little like thing here, and then it goes like, you know what I mean? Like there's a little trim, and then there's a little thing here. And maybe it's also like, maybe it looks different. Like it's like, ooh, look at that. So fancy. That's how the wall looks. I'll just leave that in there. Though it should have been in the interiors. Let's put like 2 single doors. So now I'm just getting lots and lots of meshes. I don't know, some modern buildings. Let's say 2 modern. Because there's going to be a lot of like ancient stone buildings here, but there's also going to be like a 7-Eleven to sort of sell the anachronism of it. Because like, you know, because this takes place essentially in the modern day, and they just, it's not like they completely lack any technology, they just have very limited access to like infrastructure. Like they don't have like, there's not like a nuclear power plant over here or something. They just have to use like little wind generators. I'll make some big wind generators somewhere. Ooh, that could actually be kind of neat. Let's do, I like that look in a lot of old cities where there's just like, you know, there's like a transformer in like a little alleyway and then like a billion lines shooting off of it. And it just looks like, you know, like a mass spider's web or like a rat's nest of electrical cables. I think that'd be pretty cool. And these buildings are going to be really tall and there's going to be more densely put together. Like I want this to be like the typical density of the area. So like, this should be here. And then this is all like, this is like an actual proper fort that was gradually built up over time. And then there's going to be another walled city like encompassing this whole thing with just simpler houses. Maybe they don't have like well, I need to distinguish that. So maybe like an older texture for the stone. I also need to improve these because now they don't even match. Because, like, this is supposed to be like a, like, here. Also, I don't even have the multis yet. I'll put that as well. Basically, I want the ability to have, like, this little dollar multi should mean that this is part of a multi-mesh. Actually, this might be like... because I want this to also still be a static body as well, so I need to make it so that I can have multiple import hints, which currently Godot doesn't do, I don't think. I'll need to establish what I want to do with that in more detail. Well, I'm a fifth of the way through the stream, and I've gotten a 12th of the way through this to-do list. I think we're going pretty good. Let's see, so this will be... unwalled, lots of gardens. Oh, canals. Another 7-Eleven will be out here. How would it get stuff, though? Like, how do they get resources up this hill? Because you can't stalk a 7-Eleven with, like, a pack mule or something going up the hill. There should be lots of families. There should be another family, where's this chunk? So if you don't know, in this chunk, there's a little race that you can do. For this guy, I think. That's not the guy. He's somewhere here. This little guy, this little pixel here, will tell you, hey, go ride your hover scooter all around crisscrossing this farm and, like, you know, blow up the farm, basically. I also need little particles, so let's add that as well. So I'll need to add a collision mesh to this thing, and basically it'll be, you know, instead of stopping the player, it'll just play a little grass sound. And I don't think I have the, well, maybe I can make a little shader so that, like, when you hit it, it actually, like, plays a little, thing. Like a little, like, distortion. And I already have a unique shader just for, like, foliage, because it's the only, like, transparent stuff in the game. So that wouldn't be too big a deal, because you could just, like, insert the position and time, and then it's like, you know, it just gets the nearest vertices and wibbles them back and forth. That'd be okay. Though I need a lot of sound effects. In fact, let's add, I'm gonna add tags as well. So yeah, this is my brilliant tag system. I don't know if I even need this, but I'll keep it anyway for now. And I think for the main story, what I'm thinking I might do is I might just go through this in an arbitrary order, like literally from the top left down to the bottom right. And that's like the order that I work on it rather than any sort of priority, because I don't really care if I get the game done in on a deadline. Like, I'll just work on it as long as I need to. Well, either that or give up. Maybe I should prioritize things. But long story short, I'm going to do some side content first, because I think I need that to sort of contextualize the story, because it's a very, it's meant to be a very non-linear exploration-based story, but currently I don't have anything for the player to do non-linearly or to, like, explore. Like, I just have a bunch of things where nothing happens. Like, there's a little house here, and there's nothing in the house. Like, it doesn't feed back into anything. So I need to make things that can actually have an opportunity to feed back into things before I can actually write the story. Excuse me, I'm going insane. I'm talking so much that I'm on the verge of burping. Anyway, what's here? Well, naturally, there'd be some little, like, satellite towns. And, well, let's see, there'd be... I'm gonna say there's gonna be... So this was also, like, a formerly colonialized area where there's still vestiges of, like, the colonial houses. Like, there's that little house wherever it was, on this hill or what. Somewhere in here, like this one, what have you. Yeah, so there's gonna be more stuff like this soon. Actually, I'll probably do that in here. Lots of Veiler housing. So yeah, satellite towns, you know what, here there's just gonna be a big old tower. Wait, what did I put here, though? Or some ruins, maybe blend with the ruins. Ah, this is the good part of game dev, where I get to just say a million things. This is literally 1,000 times less work than what the actual work is. Like, it's gonna take, like, every single one of these lines is gonna take me, like, 6 hours. This is gonna be, like, 12 hours of work. Like, this one? Do you know how many fucking things this could be? This could be, like, 100 meshes. It's gonna be, like, 3 meshes. But it'll still be, like, 6 hours. This one? I better find, like, a $4 asset of, like, a low poly 7-Eleven. And then I'll have to make all of the textures for, like, all the little snacks that you can buy. And it's like, this will be like 2 weeks to make a 7-Eleven. And then I'll just copy it into the main city, or a smaller version. Alright. Chunk 16. Harden the terrain, lots of rocks. Yeah. It's okay if some places are less dense than others. That's what makes it special. If I put a little landmark in every single chunk, then it would be obvious that it's on a 12 by 12 grid. And this, Alright, in this one, obviously there needs to be a hoverboard race. well... Yeah, that's fine. Now this area, I've actually been intrigued by like this terrain because it looks really weird. So I may actually pull more of the terrain into this shape. So I'd also do that with this row as well, 32 and like 30 whatever. Because it feels like rocks that are like, you know, like plates of rocks that have slid this way. So yeah, I'd like to emphasize that. I'm already running out of ideas for cool things. Yeah, I'll just put, I know. I should use the restroom, and that'll refresh my mind. Alright, I know exactly what to put in here. What does it mean? I don't know. That'll, I'll figure it out when the time comes. Maybe that's what I should do. I should just, make meaningless nonsense. Now this absolutely should be a no. Where should the hoverboard race be? The hoverboard race will start here. Because, like, you know, why not? Thanks, Alex, yeah. And yeah, have a nice Halloween. Let's see. Chunk 21. See. I think there should be more caves. Hmm. 22. And yeah, for these, I should probably make these a little bit sparser at the edges just to make sure the player doesn't get too confused that the content completely drops off when you get out here and then there's like an invisible wall. Where else am I? No, I have tons of little houses on rocks. I shouldn't put a little house on a rock, like everywhere. Like there shouldn't be like 12 little houses on rocks. That's unoriginal. And the copper coin is the name of a city that I have also not implemented, which is at chunk 54, I think. Yeah. So here I've made a massive underground level right under what was supposed to be a massive above ground level, and I didn't think that maybe I should like manage that better. Also, what did I do here? This reflection probe is completely screwed. Look at that. How could I do something so... Wait, what? So I just did it weird like this on purpose? Why did I do this? It doesn't even need to be this big. Like, look at this. I'll just shrink it. And then it's, oh no, it needs to be... Oh no. You know what? I have a great idea. One of my technology things. Even without reflection, because basically the reason this is here and it's like poking out through this is because I can only have 16 of these reflection probes at a time. Like, even if I make them invisible, there can only be 16 loaded at once because they're still in the texture atlas. Also, this needs to be, I get what I did. Okay, so I can also put some rocks there. I would also just like area lights, like... Just because I don't even need the reflections a lot of the times. Also, the ambient light is very flat in these areas without... Let's see, I should go to an area that actually has no lighting. So like here, if I turn up this ambient contribution... Huh, did they fix it, actually? Oh no. You can see a little bit of shimmering here. It can be very bad in areas where it doesn't look good. That was quite an ingenious explanation on my part. Let's turn it up here. Huh. Honestly, they might have improved it. It seems like it's better than it was before. Yeah, this seems a lot better actually. They might have fixed... Oh no. Well, it seems more subtle, but you can still see the Z fighting. So yeah, that would need to be fixed. And for the exterior, my issue is you can see this really, really dark blue. That's because as you get closer to the actual center of the reflection probe, the ambient light goes from the environment plus the ambient colors and stuff just to the ambient color, which is a dark blue here, because I blend it and it looks nice. So I want it to blend between the outer reflection and the inner reflection plus the ambient light in the same, like with the same math. So that way it's smoother rather than this like this horrible blue color. I may have to completely rewrite the reflection probes and like do a bunch of different stuff with how they load. But alright, let's do... Oh wait, now I'm in row 3. Oh wait, no, row 2 actually. Oh, and I should have mentioned at some point, this is the Hat in Time soundtrack. I like it a lot. It's very varied. Also in here, there's going to be there'll be little underground canals, and that might be how you get into this building. Let's sort of speed shot these. And I think here the marsh dries up. Also here there should be, there's also some like more satellite town. Maybe I should have a river that goes all the way from here and trickles down into, like, you know, like crisscrossing this whole area. I think that would be good. So yeah, let's say macro content. Not in the fetish sense, but in the sense of like actual like large scale content. So it'll be like a creek from like maybe there's little pools right in here and they flow down the river, or they flow down like this way, and that would be okay, I can see that. Concept art map. Also, none of this other stuff is going to be in here, so let's just, well, some of it is. So yeah, let's say some bright blue water. There'll be like little pools all around here, then there'll be a little, alright, I'm assuming it actually goes around there. This isn't quite what I envisioned, but this makes more sense, like, geologically. And that gives us tons of opportunity for a little bit more, trees and stuff. Maybe all of this stuff. This stuff is all going to be like... It'll be layered in the same way that this stuff is layered, where it's like, you know, these like little sheets of rock. So I'll try to make all of this stuff look in sort of a similar vibe, and it gradually like tones down until it gets to here where it'll be like, I don't know, little mini mesas or something. Did I put... I'll put, just full-blown follower technology. So I put that in chunk 5. But this will be, like, actually... I haven't even done like my wackier ideas, like dress warm for time stop and the other like crazy quests. Let's say in so I'll call it like hallway zones. So like basically just linear paths where the AI wants to go. That would be a bit too complicated for me to set up through like a nav mesh or something. And currently my tutorial little AI, so if we go to 112, there's a little tutorial Tyler, world famous tutorial Tyler, wherever he is. The reason I called him that. Oh, there he is. Where's his animation? There it is. So yeah, we see this little epic little guy. He just has a hard-coded, like, run path. So maybe I can, like, set it up so that there's, like, nodes where he, like, does certain things at certain points. But it's like, you know, just start, node, node. And then it, like, the AI actually can, like, determine how to get from point A to point B with a little bit less guidance than just hard coding every single movement individually, which looks terrible, and it took me like hours. But okay, I could rework that. And he should be called Tutorial Tyler. I should use his full name whenever I need to. And it would still be semi-scripted. Where was I in this? $26. So I'm like a sixth of the way there. What do I see in my beautiful mind's eye? We can't have light without darkness, and we can't have content without an absence of content. And here I can use that little curling zone and finally put it to good use. I think that'll be good. That makes tons of sense. And here, Actually, let's go back to here. No, this is going to be... This would have been an ideal place for Veilers to just get murdered. Well, no. Actually, this would be much better. A lot of just, like, villages. I don't know if I should do more stuff. Oh well. I do like just having this massive hill that has kind of nothing on it. I know. This will be the canvas on which I think of something else to do. So it'll go all the way up, because this is where I was imagining the creek actually being, but it'll be like, it carved something going this way instead of this way. And here they'll be, maybe as they get closer to sources of water, there's like, there's more trees, so there's more wood up here. So that way they use less stone, because it doesn't make sense to like build huge stone structures on top of like metal, like, I don't know, staging areas or something. I don't know what to call it exactly. And 3-3 will officially not be part of the whatchabob. And this will be and 34 was my epic final challenge, which doesn't, it's not really a super final challenge. Like, it's certainly like a lot of the platforming, but it doesn't do much for combat, and it doesn't do much for like the jetboard or the hover scooter. More stuff. I shouldn't say more stuff. Like, this is literally me trying to specify the more stuff that I'm doing. That's the entire point of this stream. Okay. Let's see. And I'm thinking it would be good to have some enemies here, maybe? Or maybe just, I don't know. I have very few, like, moving obstacles. Like, I don't have moving platforms that you have to time, and I don't have things that can, like, hurt you. Actually, I don't think there's a single platforming challenge except for the fans that'll actually, like, damage the player currently. Also, something for gameplay. And it would be based on the velocity the player has fallen, or is falling at, and the distance since they've last touched the ground. So that way, if the player, like, gently hovers from a high place, they don't die. And also, if for some reason they glitch out, and then, like, they keep accelerating, they don't die when they hit the ground from, like, an inch high or something. You know, if, like... Because that sometimes happens in games, where they get stuck on geometry and then you, like, slam into the ground from an inch and die. So I wouldn't like that. And this way, I can also make it so that things that are really far below you are also a challenge to get to. Because right now, you can jump from, like... Well, you can just jump from anywhere. So, like, here to here, trivial. You literally just roll jump, and then you can get there eventually. I think you can only go, like, here, though, with the hover scooter. Well, and with the idea of an art pass, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't really care. Well, yeah, I don't care. Maybe custom music. And what can I put on the exterior here? And I think it'd be nice if there was, like, a little waterfall that trickled down this, probably, like, here. Let's see what that would be. Oh, yeah. Let's do... I'm tempted to add a fishing minigame, but I don't think I'm going to do that because I don't have any, like, systems that could feed into. Well, I guess I could just make something. But okay, what's here? Oh, right, I have this race. And then I'm gonna put, so this is now... row 3. We're a quarter of the way there in only 2/5 of the time. No, actually 3/5. An hour and a half for 2.5 hours. So this will be a battlefield. Maybe some have stayed? Might as well. And I'll have to decide what I want to do with the Veilers, because they are supposedly the same race as Jackie, which would mean that they're just regular people, but I kind of don't want to have, like, little alien-looking guys. You know, my funny little men, and then, like, just humans. Not only because that's, like, I could just put Bipples. So I have these little other little funny guys that I made for a different game. And technically, well, I don't care. I can just make it the same universe. So I'll just add Bipples to the game. So I'll import the generation, because they're procedurally generated as well, and I'll integrate it with the... I was gonna say like white clothes, but like it'll be like traditional, well, common English clothing. So it'd be late 18th, early 19th century clothing, so like suits and things. And that way, I solve the problem of having diversity without wanting to actually like make human characters, except for Jackie. And I still might make some human characters, because I have some fun ideas, but it'll just be like, I don't know, like these are like stylistic renderings of NPCs where their specific identity isn't very important. And then for actual people, or like in more important characters, I might just depict them as humans to make it clear that this is some sort of stylistic thing. Or maybe I won't even explain it. So here I need, I keep accidentally writing racial slurs when I try to write chunks. That'll one day come back to bite me. You know, because someone can take a 30-second clip of this stream where I accidentally write a racial slur. And then I'm done. Then I'm over. Let's see, so this will be... Bombed bridge. Wait, what? Huh? Oh, that was all 36. So what else do I put here? So 36, 37. Wait, huh? Oh, I was just like I was just a number off, I think. Okay, now 38. I'll do some cool rocks in a little cave. Oh wow, we don't have a drop of content from here all the way up to the rest of this row. Like I haven't made a single one yet. The next one is actually this one. I'm just gonna hang on. What can I do? How can I make this more fun? Or at least like get something to like unstick my brain. Because now I'm just kind of running out of ideas. It's like, oh, a village. Oh, some rocks. Oh, some caves. Hang on. I need something cool. Let's see. Alright, I have the Random House Encyclopedia, the new revised edition. This is, let's see, approximately 2,918 pages. In fact, that's not even approximate, that's the exact number. So let's flip to a random page here. Charlemagne and the Carolingian Empire. So let's see. So I think 40 and 41. Let's see, page 1066. This thing stinks. Alright, this will be my secret weapon. This will be like a power-up in a video game, where I only use it a few times. Okay, so here, little towers for the copper coin. So basically, the reason the copper coin was all flat and weird is because the Valers blew up the foundations to it during the war. So like this thing was actually like, it was like completely level for like 2,000 years. And then in a war like 40 years ago, they just blew it up. So actually I should probably have a lot of like piles and piles and piles of scrap over here. Like literally 5 million tons of scrap. That'd be pretty cool. But that's not that. What can I say? That's a good... And this will be... I think this is the actual, like, source of the creek that leads into 32. Let's see. I think this will be, well, ooh, this would be kind of hard because this is like, oh wait, no, there is no, oh wait, no, it's a dried creek bed here. Oh wait, hang on. That means I completely screwed up all... Oh wait, no. Okay. Well, why would they be dried... Why would I put dried creeks here? Or, like, hillside villages? Oh, okay. I get it now. My brain was all mixed up. Wow, I did not know a book could smell so old. It's literally like a retirement home. It smells like a retirement home. It's astonishing. This book isn't even that old. It's like from the 80s. Let me close this. It smells. Alright, what is 45? Ooh. Okay, so this is part of the waterfall. So there's a little trickle, or there's a waterfall that goes down here. So this is part of the active creek that goes down this way. And it's part of the dried creek that goes down this way. Also, I'm going to say there should be a mechanic for, like... So, like, if the player gets stuck in, like, Like they didn't level up properly. And then they just jump, like they somehow get up into this cave and then they jump down into here and can't get out. There should be some way of them like to be like, okay, I'm just gonna teleport to like the starting village and like keep my progress and like not screw myself. Also technology. I'll say bug fixes actually. I know. Create branch of game. Also, for now what I'm gonna do baking all of the lighting is going to be like one of the last things I do because I'm tired of like baking it over and over and like renaming things, and then I get a billion errors where it's like this thing doesn't exist in the baked lighting. It's like I don't care anymore. Okay, 46. There's straight up like nothing. Like that's not anything. And here, that's pretty good. Alright, now that I'm sort of like mentally running out of steam, I'm making faster progress because I'm doing it worse. So I need to let's get my little rail line in here. Let's see, what color am I gonna make this? I'll make it a lovely black. Or gray. So let's say, I don't know where Musna Cross is. But it'll be like that, very beautiful. Go off into the sunset. And then here it'll also split off, and this is the blown up place, so it's like dead. And then it like, I don't know, loops around this way. And then there's a little train station at Mazlikir, because that's where they put all the like high quality copper. And then I think the train would go like that way. Well, no, that doesn't make any sense. And there's also 2 train lines here. So maybe there's a switch to like decide which one goes into which thing. I don't know how trains work. This will be difficult because it's not like I haven't really put anything onto a grid in the game. Maybe I'll have to, like, lay out terrain, or lay out the, tracks. Or just build little prefab pieces that have, like, fixed, like, increments that they can go. And then lay those out on each chunk, like, carefully referencing their positions so that I know how they work. And then just, like, pull those into the world and to adjust the terrain, and then, like, delete them. Yeah, I think that's probably the only feasible way to do it, because right now it's like, this is like one mesh, and it's like 10,000 polygons, and it has this massive thing. I think it requires the multi-mesh importer. So, something that's dumb is that in Godot 3, there's this whole LOD thing here. These do nothing. There is absolutely, like, these have no function whatsoever, and they haven't had a function for, like, years. Yeah, currently this property has no effect, and it's like, okay, cool. Maybe someday someone will implement that. And it will not be me. But okay, continue the train line from oozing across. So there's two little characters that I've imagined here that are just stranded at the train station because they went the wrong way on the train for like 600 miles. So I thought that would be funny. And let's see, I also need to add so I should build up a library of, like, convenience store assets, because that seems pretty clearly going to be a thing that I want. Because they love their 7-Elevens here in the desert. And I don't know, I probably won't have an active train, but that could be fun. Because I've been thinking that probably for the end of the game, there's gonna be a train stopped at the station. Also, I should actually, like, look at how trains work. Because I think this needs to be a lot longer for, like, an actual, like, usable train station. Because it's like, what, does everybody else just have to get off in the dirt? And just walk where they're going? Because once you get on the train, the credits will roll. Because it'll be like she's going home to, you know, her people need her back in the fictional land of England. What else is in here? Nothing. Oh wait, no, there's a little bit of this cliff. And there should also be a little bit of indication that there's this big old cave here, though maybe the player can actually see that from here. Yeah, they could probably see it from here if they, like, you know, they get out over here and it's like, oh, well, there's nothing really over here, and then they, like, peer over that. Well, no. Well, if there was a little tower, then they could do that. Ah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because it is a little town, so it would make sense that there's like a water tower there. Actually, I think I'll put that here. So I'll put nine. Let's see. So there could be... It wouldn't really match like physical accuracy, but I'm imagining some sort of momentum-based thing where there's like pumps that go up and down, and the player gets physically thrown by them to increase their momentum. But I don't know if I actually want to do... I don't know if the physics really is capable of that, though. And here... 50. I'm gonna put a little observatory here, and then there's like just a little like one of those research outposts. And I guess they would do it here because it would be very clear air quality, but I don't know why they wouldn't. Well, I know why they wouldn't do it. Up here is going to be more dangerous with like more enemies and stuff, similar to like here. So yeah, here I have the Chunk 52 estate. I'm gonna put a little bit more stuff in here. I think this is the right place. Yeah. So yeah, I'll say there's like some little secret passages that like go out to like here. So it won't be used in this race down to here. But it'll also improve the race. So I'll do some kind of Resident Evil style puzzle solving here, if I can develop a system of actually like supporting that. So it'll be like the like keys and things. And then Some rocks in the riverbed. My God, this book stinks. Like, I keep getting a whiff of this encyclopedia. I have never... I'm gonna have to, like... I think I have to just air out the book. Like, it's so smelly. Okay, but hang on. I need to be back in a minute. Alright, where was I? 53. So this is right next to... Oh yeah, this is... I forgot. There's like a billion tons of... Lots of scrap from the copper coin. Also, I just had a great idea for how to implement the the water. So I have that in here somewhere. Because originally my thought was to just have a predefined like set of like let's say the water's perfectly flat, you can just specify like, okay, this is the point where the water is level. And so then once you have a player, you can easily check how deep they are in the water. But naturally that doesn't work if it's like this. Like if you set the point like here, then if the player's, you know, here, it still determines that they're like, you know, neck high in water. So what I think I'm going to do instead is there's going to be a ray cast because the player is not meant to ever be underwater at any point. Hang on, this music's a bit this one's a bit too hyperactive. I'm going to do this one. But there'll be a ray cast from slightly above the player. So like at this depth they die, but otherwise it'll be like, now it knows how deep you are. Like it can reference this to this with a simple ray cast, because I don't actually care about other collision with the water. And that way I can have like the rivers and collisions with that pretty fine. But how do I link the river meshes across different chunks? That's something that I've realized I don't actually know how to do yet, because, you know, this whole thing is now going to be, like, this is actually like a river now. So it's like, I don't know how to do that. Also, I'm going to do, and that'd be tricky as well. If I have a dynamic mesh, how do I like determine how that goes? Maybe I can create a path just here, and then the actual water would be procedurally generated. That'd be terrible. Hang on, that's stupid. Never mind that. Maybe people are trying to build right-side-up towns on, like, the sideways buildings. Oh, hi, Friend Master. I'm going through every single little chunk of this world, trying to figure stuff out. Let's see. That could be true. So it won't be like a large river, but I would like it to be continuous. But you are right that I could just do perhaps mostly underground water flow, so like it goes into something and then it like, you know, like disappears like here and then it like resurfaces here or something. Because it is mostly desert and it is meant to be quite arid, so like especially in this area, there could probably be like ponds instead of fully flowing water, and it would like mostly be in the groundwater. I'll actually note that down. Yeah, it uses a very simple level stream where each chunk has its dynamic content loaded and out. Though it doesn't actually, well, yeah, it does. It removes it from the tree, but it doesn't actually delete all of the assets for it, or unload them. So they're always in memory, so that way it's, because it's not that big of a game. Let's see, put some smashed towns, people trying to build on sideways copper ruins. Maybe... Alright, there's this little bit of back area. So I need to have a bunch of stuff here so the player doesn't notice this obvious little cave entrance. Because otherwise they're going to be disappointed when they get into it and realize it's like nothing. And maybe I should put something here. Because right now this actually kills you. And we have 56, which I think will be... This will be some... I need to decide which of these I want to be the actual, like, creek. So I have this area. So for chunk 57, I'm tempted to completely remove this this level, or at least do something else with this area, because right now, well, one, this level is very short and it sucks. Like, especially, oh man, this, like, trek up this thing, it's awful. It's some of the worst gameplay in the entire game right now. So I'm definitely going to cut all of this. But I'm tempted to also move this closer because this is so insanely out of the way. You know what? I am going to remove it. Cut the gravity gun level. Like, I love the idea of just a little, like, unassuming little, like, research outpost like this, like, just some little thing. And then it's just, like, it leads into just a crazy big facility. And I think this will be much more, I want this to be much more story, like, lore stuff. Let's see, I'll skip the main theme of the Hat in Time because it's a bit too epic for background music. Yeah, there we go. I'll keep that up. So yeah, all this going away. And then I'll have to figure out where I want the actual other stuff. Oh yeah, also, I just realized. I have something important that I'm gonna do. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to essentially, so if we go to here, in the starting area of the game, right now what happens is, let's see, this will be some very clear drawing. But here you have to run around and do a bunch of side content before you can activate the medium. But what this essentially does is it means the player doesn't have the actual, like, central premise of the story until they've gone out and done some exploration. Like, they don't have their actual motivation for the actual, or that'll be driving them for the rest of the game. So what I want to do instead is just, have it so the player just walks into the medium and sees their mother. Because what happens otherwise is, if the player is told, like, go out and explore and find some stuff, they're going to go, okay. And they're going to go, like, here. And that's going to break everything, because the game, like, I can't write every single possible sequence of events. So, like, if the player doesn't know about their mother here, if they go straight to here and, like, interact with the character who knows their mom and then go straight back, it screws up the sequencing. Because I want the player to see, essentially, because this medium is a thing that's powered by the player's memories, or the player character's memories. And so I want them to see what happens when they use it without the player actually knowing anything about their mom, where it's just like this vague hologram that, like, is just an impression of a person. Because one, I think it's a cool idea. And two, then I can do the rest of the story where they know they have to do that. And I don't have to write multiple different versions of if they haven't done the story or not. So it'll literally be, you wake up in the village and you're told, okay, go literally 15 feet to the thing, and then talk to the thing, and that gives you all of the story. And now everything else, you have at least enough context that all of the dialogue can work. And then I will have to contextualize the other tutorials, because right now, like, getting these 3 capacitors is like, it tutorializes how to do things, but yeah. Yeah, and there is some systems. There's an extensive note system that I may improve, but basically, like, actually, if we go into here, it's not like aggressively hands-on, but basically, wait, where's my map? Oh, I should probably just make it so that this is automatically marked, but basically, at the start of the game, I'm going to have it so that there's a little map marker for, like, the start, and it'll give you some context as to what you're doing there. And then there's a journal. Wow, there's nothing in here. Huh, I must have, oh, I know what I did. I made it so the first dialogue that you talk to actually does a bunch of the work of, like, adding map markers and things. So yeah, what I'll have to do, I'll even put this down right now. Let's see, hideaway. Let's see. Though then the player doesn't have any need to talk to other characters. I'll have to figure out, maybe it'll just be like one capacitor. And it's like, oh, there's one in the cave. So like go 20 feet to the cave and then come back and activate it. And that'll be the tutorial for the objects. And it'll be like, okay. And also you can find these out in the wild and it'll like activate other doors and stuff. And I might even add an invisible wall around the town just because I want to give the player freedom, but I want to at least like set up some minimum value. Yep, yeah, in this journal, it also does things where there'll be things in the journal related to specific places, and then you can cross-reference that with the same notes in the map. So it'll be like, you know, there's some task that says, get something at Mosna Cross, and then you're like, where is that? And then you like look at the map and it's like Mosna Cross, get thing here. I should have put some stuff in the maps though. And then even things in the inventory can have like task notes related to them. But eventually, I'll figure that out eventually. But yeah, what I'll do, let's see, actually what I'll do is no longer need 3 capacitors to activate the medium. Get 1 from the caves. Town. Mm-hmm. Let's see, I guess this isn't necessarily feature creep, but it is sort of content creep. Because a lot of this stuff I'll have to prioritize, like, or like put in a hierarchy of like most important to least important. And then do it in that order. But let's see. And yeah, so what I'm thinking now is just so that I don't have to write a billion things or worry about the story just being completely busted. They'll be like, for the first like 5 minutes of the game, you're going to be constrained to this area. And let's see, and I'm thinking of what sort of quality of life things would be necessary, but I think the game is kind of where I want it to be. I do want kind of a more robust notes system. Like, because I have that simple journal, but I might want to have a more visual-based thing. Oh wait, no. I actually know some things that I want. This was a quality of life thing I wanted. And there's also all the visuals of like oh yeah, I also need I'm actually going to put this little journal graph at the bottom, because this might not be terribly necessary, but it would be nice. Uh-oh. My OBS has disconnected. Alright, I think I'm disconnected. I'll stop streaming. Okay, good. Alright. So that's back alive. So now, let's see. So what was I doing in 57? Wait, is 50? No, I'm in. Okay, that's 56. Alright. We got lots of little things here. And yeah, you should see all the crazy things for like actual, like full-on scope creep that I've imagined. Like procedurally generated human characters and, oh, and one crazy thing was like automatic lip syncing and like tools to generate expressive cutscene dialogue animation. Oh, my chat history disappeared. That's sad. Oh well. Oh wait, no, it's back. Okay. So 58. 57 is going to be a big place, so maybe 58 just kind of has nothing in it. $59. I mean, this is just some nothing. Well, I mean, it's fun looking terrain. Like, it looks like it'd be fun to climb on. Alright, so we are now 5/12 of the way through at only slightly over 100%. And for consistency, do I have anything in 60? Let's say so it'll be the outskirts of the town, some rocks. What will be here? The observatory. So let's see. So this is 62. So yeah, what I'm imagining is just a little observatory here. Nothing fancy. It'll be like some guys with a telescope. Well, I could actually put the whole little research outpost that I was talking about there, just right up here. Oh well. So yeah, I'll replace this junk wall with just a simple stone wall that just kind of like undulates around. And I also want to like probably rework this town into more of a or like actually oh, that would be fun. Let's see. That'd actually be very nice for like, well, I guess these ones are okay, but it definitely could be. Yeah, I'll keep my eyes out for a good place for that, because it might be somewhere over here. Hi, I'm going through every chunk in the entire game world, because I'm making a little platformer. You know what? I'll play it a little bit. And I'm going through and thoroughly deciding all the wonderful, beautiful content that I'm gonna make. So like I'm gonna make this a spooky house with some delightful puzzles. And I'll even make some gameplay. And I'll even make the camera collide with the buildings. Thanks, yeah. Alright, now back to the important work of figuring out. Yeah, I spent a lot of work getting the ledge hanging feeling good. Because even like, this is like stream 142 or something, and I think last stream I was still fixing, or still tweaking the ledge grabbing, because it's a tricky thing to get it feeling just right. Let's see. What was I doing? Oh yeah, 62. So there's the guy here. And very important, another 7-Eleven in here. But yeah, for the past 2.5 hours, I've been very slowly going through all of the 144 chunks. So in about 2 hours and almost 3 hours, I've gotten to 61. No, I'm at 63 actually. Well, Alex, I'm using your idea right here. And maybe they'll even use it for like curling. I think it'll be partly just maybe just semi-randomly to make sure that the main paths feel like they have enough content. So like, you know, like from here to here, and then from here to here, and then from here to here. So that triangle would sort of be the stuff that I start first, because that's like the like main important path. And then I'll add just dot some other stuff around here. So if the player like really goes out of their way, there might not be as much stuff, but there's at least a little bit. I think for 64, that'll be good, because we have this little creek slooping down into here. See, so this Dress Warm for Time Stop was a science fiction short story that I was starting to write, but I think the premise would be a fun side quest for the game. But that'll be it'll be some big work to get it working, because I basically have to make every single thing in the game respond to time completely stopping, which will be interesting. Here, actually no, this will be the lab. Yeah, that's completely fair. I know the time zone difference puts you at a time when you'd be better off sleeping. But thanks for stopping by anyway, if you need to go to sleep. Yeah, I'll just figure out what to do with 65 once I do everything else in the entire game. It'll be the real ultimate challenge. Oh right, this is part of the creek. Alright, so what do I do? Actually, wait, what do I have in 67? Alright, I just have like an arbitrarily hard enemy. He's also clipped in the terrain because I haven't touched this area in like 6 months. I'm just throwing things at the wall now. I don't even know what a race car would mean. Like, would you drive a race car? Would it just be somebody just has a race car? I don't know. But there will be a race car though. What did I put at 59? I mean, climbing is obvious. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, I'm halfway there now. As sort of a red herring, I want there to be very little here. Okay, and this is the tutorial, or part of the tutorial zone for the wave shot. So I need just more platforming here. Ah, now this is one that I've been excited for. I have this humongous building here that is currently just an empty box. So this is going to be an important one, because this is going to be and by follower NPC, I don't mean like an NPC that'll permanently follow you, I just mean like a guy who's like, he just walks around with you through the museum. And lots of unique assets is definitely like a feasible, like, idea. An inventory puzzle means like just like getting keys to unlocking other sections of the museum or something like that. So yeah, I'm describing it as like epic cool lore. I think that summarizes it. I think that sets a realistic goal. Then this little cliff. And it'll be like, this will be part of some other level. And then, oh right, I need to, this is also part of the level to get up here. So I deleted it long ago, but like, this is like the level up here. Actually, I need to do that here as well. A lot of work there. Actually, I guess this... So, I guess I've been okay at making at least, well, at least having this area have some stuff around it, and then having this have some stuff around it. See, I think there, and then I guess around here I should focus on content. So there's going to be like 4 focus points of the main game. So the Mazda Foundry. So there's a lot of stuff in here. So like this foundry is, it doesn't really, it's so barren and empty right now. I need to actually like, and also the cranes just kind of float in the air, so I may need to actually like, I may need to just completely rework it. So like, because this is like the central like this is where the money is actually made in this place. Because that's what melts down all the scrap copper in the area and then ships it off for export down the train tracks. Actually, have I properly mapped out 63? Oh, 63 needs the train tracks, so I don't think I should put the little landing thing there. $51 and $50 also need that. I guess I'll hang on to that landing zone idea. Is this still part of the, Yeah, this still has a good chunk of the creek. Oh yeah, this is the little racetrack. So now there's actually going to be flowing water. Oh wait, no. I messed up. I don't think I have anything in 77. Oh, I know I do. Oh yeah, I have this big old thing. I know. The player can hover. Okay, so that little hoverboard will work over the water. You drown instantly if it goes over your head. This place is actually a lot less arid than I think it looked. But I kinda don't mind that. It'll just be like... Well, it'll still be pretty limited. It'll be like, it'll trickle down this way and then maybe like pool under this thing. And put some shallow water there so there's like limited jumping ability. And then you can like run off that way. So 82 is the start of this little, like, crack in here. So basically for this stuff, I just cut a bunch of, or just like grabbed some faces and then extruded them downward and scaled them flat. So I should probably like make it look good instead of being horribly lazy about it. Like maybe like widen it out and have like some multiple levels of cliff faces and things. And also like delete these faces here that I didn't delete. Even listing this work is going to be like 5 hours. Okay, so I hope this isn't actually like 1,000 times more work. See, we do have a bit of cave here. Oh, that's a decent chunk of cave, actually. Alright, I think that's a good, that's a good summary of the work, you know. Do something cool. Oh, this thing I also need to do something cool, like, what is this stuff? Or this little thing here. Okay, an 85. This is a good chunk. A very brave chunk, a very unique chunk, because we got this big cylinder in here. So there's the top side. Because this has two different parts of the cave. It has this thing, this huge lead-in, and then it forks in, or it joins with chunk 84 into like this little platforming area and these little offshoots. So I think there should be maybe some more like adventure style puzzles where the player needs to interact with some object. And then there's the big cylinder. And at the end there's going to be a cool guy, and he's going to be I know. I think an optional secret boss battle is pretty reasonable and easy to do in a video game. I think that's like a, you know, that's an easy thing that people add all the time. And then let's see, outside of here, what do I put up here? Because there's a bunch of these, there's a bunch of this stuff. Because I have this kind of done, it's pretty sparse. I know. The top side. There is going to be water. It's going to be like half filled with water. And then the player will just drown if they get in there. I don't think my feeble brain can comprehend quite exactly what else to put there. So I'll say that that's good. 86. 86. So there's lots of stuff here. There's the little plateau tops. Wow, okay. I think I'm gonna leave it at chunk 85 because I don't think I have the brain power to come up with more things. Because right now we got a lot of rocks. We got a lot of stuff that I can do. And I'm over halfway done with listing out the things that I want to do. And I'm seeing a stark lack of actual quests or like story content here, because I'm seeing a lot of like empty places that I could walk to. So let's do, I'll need to characters and all right. Let's say that is good for today. This has been the spooky Halloween themed thing. Tune in next time, where I will spend 2.5 more hours filling out the rest of this list with some more inspired ideas. See you then.